Willowbrook Mall. Once a bustling hub of activity, it now stood as a desolate concrete carcass, haunted by the ghosts of laughter and forgotten dreams. The mall's cheerful music and vibrant storefronts were long gone. Now only an eerie silence hung in the air, broken only by the wind whistling through the shattered windows. Years of neglect had transformed the once gleaming structure into a decaying monument of a bygone era. The escalators stood frozen in time, their metal steps gathering dust. A lone shopping cart lay on its side, a silent testament to the mall's abrupt demise. Above, a flickering fluorescent light cast long, dancing shadows, adding to the unsettling atmosphere. This was no ordinary place. This was a breeding ground for fear, a canvas upon which the supernatural painted its chilling tales. Jeremy thrived on the adrenaline rush of the unknown. He was a collector of urban legends, a connoisseur of creepy lore, and an avid explorer of abandoned places. He sought the thrill of fear, the exhilaration of confronting the unseen. When rumors about the haunting of Willowbrook Mall and the terrifying cartoon cat reached his ears, he knew he had found his next adventure.
I devoured every scrap of information I could find about the mall and its sinister resident. I scoured online forums, listened to whispered tales from locals, and even managed to find an old security guard who claimed to have seen the cartoon cat with his own eyes. Each story, every chilling detail, only fueled my desire to experience the haunting firsthand. I packed my backpack with my trusty flashlight, a first aid kit for good measure, and a camera to capture evidence of the paranormal. I was ready to face whatever lurked in the shadows of Willowbrook Mall.
As twilight painted the sky in shades of purple and orange, Jeremy arrived at the mall's entrance. A shiver snaked down his spine as he felt a cold gust of wind, like a warning whispered from the depths of the abandoned structure. He took a deep breath and pushed open the heavy glass door, its rusty hinges groaning in protest.
The air inside was stale and thick with the smell of decay. Dust motes danced in the faint moonlight filtering through the grimy windows. I stepped inside, my footsteps echoing loudly in the cavernous space. I could hear the sound of my own heart beating against my ribs, a steady drumbeat against the eerie silence. I walked deeper into the mall, my flashlight beam cutting through the darkness, illuminating the decaying remnants of a once thriving world.
As Jeremy ventured deeper into the mall, the atmosphere grew heavy with a palpable sense of dread. The silence was broken by the occasional creak and groan of the aging building, each sound sending a jolt of fear through him. He could have sworn he heard the faint echo of children's laughter, followed by the chilling silence that seemed to swallow all sound.
The air grew colder, raising goosebumps on my arms. Shadows seemed to twist and contort at the edge of my flashlight beam, playing tricks on my mind. I felt an unsettling presence, as if unseen eyes were watching my every move. The feeling intensified as I reached the food court, its tables and chairs overturned, frozen in time from the last day the mall was open. I could almost smell the stench of rotting food, a phantom reminder of the life that once filled this space. I was no longer alone. I could feel it.
A sudden movement in the distance caught Jeremy's eye. His heart pounded in his chest as he swung his flashlight toward the movement, his breath catching in his throat.
There at the end of a darkened corridor he saw it.
A tall, gaunt figure, its form shifting and swirling like a mirage. Its limbs were elongated and rubbery, defying the laws of physics. Two piercing eyes, glowing an unnatural yellow, stared back at him, and then it grinned.
It wasn't a friendly grin. It was a grotesque, nightmarish contortion of a smile stretching impossibly wide across its face, revealing rows of sharp-pointed teeth. The cartoon cat.
A shiver ran down Jeremy's spine as he realized the truth behind the creature's name. It wasn't just a scary story. It was real. The cartoon cat moved with an uncanny fluidity, gliding towards Jeremy with an unnerving silence. Its eyes never left Jeremy's, their glow intensifying, seeming to bore into his very soul. Jeremy felt a primal fear grip him, but he couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't tear his gaze away from the horrifying spectacle before him.
The creature's grin widened, if that were even possible, and a low growl rumbled from its throat, echoing through the desolate mall. Jeremy stumbled backward, his foot catching on a discarded mannequin limb. He fell to the ground with a thud, his flashlight rolling away, plunging him into darkness. He scrambled back, his heart pounding in his chest, his eyes desperately searching the darkness for the creature.
The cartoon cat's laughter, a chilling cacophony that sent shivers down his spine, echoed through the darkness.
"This isn't funny."
Fun? Who said anything about fun?
Jeremy's scream echoed through the empty corridors of Willowbrook Mall, a desperate cry swallowed by the oppressive silence that followed. His flashlight lay on the floor, its beam illuminating nothing but the dusty tile and scattered debris. The cartoon cat was gone, vanished as quickly as it had appeared.
Jeremy was never seen again. The police searched the mall, following the trail of his initial exploration, but found no sign of a struggle, no forced entry, no indication of what might have happened to him. His disappearance remained a mystery, another chilling tale in the already haunted history of Willowbrook Mall. The only evidence he had ever been there at all was his abandoned backpack, found lying open near the food court. His camera, still clutched inside, held the last images he'd captured. Eerie shadows, distorted reflections, and a final blurry photograph of a tall, grinning figure with glowing eyes.
News of Jeremy's disappearance spread like wildfire through the town, further cementing Willowbrook Mall's reputation as a place of fear and mystery.
Some whispered that he had simply gotten lost in the sprawling complex, succumbing to the elements or some tragic accident. Others believed he had become another victim of the mall's dark secret, claimed by the same supernatural forces that haunted its halls. The stories about the cartoon cat took on a life of their own, becoming more elaborate, more terrifying, with each retelling. Some claimed it was the spirit of a vengeful clown, forever trapped within the mall's walls. Others believed it was a malevolent entity, drawn to the mall's negative energy, feeding on the fear of those who dared to enter.
Years passed, and Willowbrook Mall stood as a desolate monument to a bygone era. The paint peeled, the windows shattered, and nature slowly reclaimed its hold on the structure. But the legend of the cartoon cat lived on, whispered in hushed tones by those brave enough to utter its name. The mall became a sinister landmark, a place to avoid, a reminder that some places hold a darkness that can never be erased. It stood as a stark warning to those who dared to tempt fate, a chilling testament to the power of fear and the enduring allure of the unknown. The cartoon cat became synonymous with Willowbrook Mall, its legend forever intertwined with the mall's tragic fate. Willowbrook Mall serves as a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. Places where the veil between our world and the supernatural wears thin, places where fear takes root and nightmares become reality. And though the truth of Jeremy's fate remains shrouded in mystery, one thing is certain. The legend of the cartoon cat continues to haunt the town, a chilling whisper in the wind, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks just beneath the surface of our world. So the next time you hear a tale of a haunted place, a place where the impossible bleeds into our reality, remember Willowbrook Mall, remember Jeremy, and remember the cartoon cat lurking in the shadows waiting for its next victim. Remember and beware.